I have to remake this projection video because the volume was all jacked up on the other one and stuff. So the second take, I have to go back to when I was a little kid. I grew up really, really poor. I had to put pantyhose over my face when I slept at night to keep the cockroaches from crawling into my nose and my ears and my mouth when I slept. We had no money. We were dirty. I was dirty. Sometimes the kids would make fun of me at school. There was just a load of problems when I was a kid. Well, what happened was I wasn't happy. So I was like this hater. I was a little hater little girl. This person got to take gymnastics. I was jealous. This person's family moved into an awesome house. I was jealous. This girl got new clothes. I was jealous. This girl had awesome hair. The list kept going. But what it also made me was never happy for anyone else. I was never happy for anybody else. I was always like, oh, good for her, and oh my God. I was never happy for anyone. And then later on in my life, I got really successful later in my 20s. I became a massage therapist, and I was making lots of money, and I had so much money, and I was taking care of all my bills, and I had enough money to take care of my kids and everything, and I loved everybody. I loved everything. I was leaving big tips, and I was helping people when I could. My friends were having struggles, no problem. I didn't have any problem helping, and it made me feel good. And I wasn't down on everybody. I wasn't hating anyone. I was really, really happy. So then later on in my life, in my 30s at one point, I got kind of down again, things weren't going right for me. I was feeling bad, and I was really projecting that onto other people. What I was doing was I wasn't happy, so I was being rude to people again. I was being mean. I was being rude, and I was filtering everything that I saw in other people through how I felt. And so then later on, I got money again. I got happy. And I know I'm making it sound like it's all based on money, but I'm a Cancer Taurus. Come on. Okay, so so what happened was I was financially secure. That security was important to me, and I was happy again. And then all of a sudden I was happy for other people again. I remember I went to my friend's house, and she'd got this beautiful house that I was really impressed by, and I was so happy for her. And I remember going through the house and look at this shelf. Oh my God, look at this built-in cabinet. Oh my God, this closet is so cool. I was really excited for her. And she stopped and she looked at me and said, it's so funny. Nobody else is this excited for me. And that always kind of stuck in my head. I hadn't figured projection out at this time, but that stuck in my head. Wow, when do I want to be happy for her? This is amazing. Well, anyway, up and down my life in this roller coaster of being happy, super happy, and then being just, sad and heavy. Well, it made me realize that when we are happy about our own lives and what we're doing, we love other people. We're accepting and excited for other people. When we don't like ourselves, when we aren't doing the things we know we need to do, when we aren't treating people the way that we should, we don't want to talk to other people. We're not happy for other people. We don't care. We're feeling bad, so we're going to treat other people bad because we want other people to feel like we feel. It's kind of like, I always say, if someone tries to bring you down, well, it's obviously they understand that you're above them, or they wouldn't be trying to bring you down. And I don't mean, oh, this person's better than this person. What I mean is this person is vibrating at a higher level. This person is happier. This person is more content with themselves and feeling better about themselves than the other person. Not that they have more value than the other person. I want that to be clear. All right. So what happens is I meet people all the time, and I can instantly tell if they're genuinely happy or not by how they treat other people. And then what it's also done is it made it to when people are rude to me and mean to me, I don't take offense anymore. I used to be offended, and I would just like, oh yeah, and get up in someone else's face. And really what it is we start to feel bad about ourselves. We start to feel negative, and we start to feel, like self-loathing almost. And then whenever we do that, we're basically looking around for someone else who's also why am I having trouble with that? Self-loathing. Because, and then when that person, and then when we're just, asshole, blah, 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 you jerk, whatever, we're doing all that stuff. And then when another person is feeling the same way, then they have aligned with us and they've matched with us, and that's when that war begins. And then, I'm battling with this other person and we're fighting. You really are not two separate people fighting. You are two people who are not happy with yourselves, and you found a worthy component and a wonderful reflection. Projection's sister, cousin, whatever, is reflection. Projection, okay, like if you can understand that other person who's being mean to you is not happy, is sad, is hurting in some way, and needs more love than anyone else, the next time someone's mean to you, try to be compassionate and kind, and watch how quick they turn around. It's amazing. It's amazing. And when I figured that out, I don't take things personal anymore. I'm just like, oh, they're going through it. I'm not gonna, it's okay, and I'm just not upset about it anymore. Okay, reflection is kind of like that, except for it's seeing things in other people. Because we know we put energy out there and we align with what we put out there, we know that the people around us have aligned with us because they're on the same vibration. So if someone's bugging you, someone's getting on your nerves, you've got to look at it and realize that that person is displaying something about you that you need to pay attention to, and once you do, it goes away, and then you don't deal with it anymore, which is the magical awesomeness. But this is what happens. You keep coming in contact with these experiences that are what you're putting out into the world, and you keep having these thoughts and these ideas and these feelings towards other people, and you're aligning with those people. I have an example here. I was living with on some property of some people in my travel trailer, and there was this lady there. And she just started getting very mean with me, very rude with me. I mean, petty and ugly. She was just being really ugly, and I had not done anything at this point. I was just living my own life, but the difference was I was happy and she wasn't. So there was projection on that part. But at the same time, I was like, okay, what's the reflection in this? Reflection was that, and at first I was like, okay, she straight up was a bitch, okay? And I remember thinking to myself, I'm not like this. I don't treat people this way. I would never do this to people. I would never. Why could I be aligning with this lady? Because she's just ugly. And then it got me thinking, well, wait a minute. She wasn't ugly. She was absolutely beautiful. She was like probably one of the most beautiful women I've come across in a long time. On the outside, on the inside, she was just miserable. And you could tell it in the way she treated people with that projection, again, like I was talking about. But the reflection I took from it was, at first, it was like, she's so rude and mean. How could that have anything to do with me? I had to look deeper. When I looked deeper, I realized that here she was, this awesome lady with all this potential and this. And I was just thinking, she could have it all if she wanted. But that was the reflection. She could have had it all, but she didn't. She was an artist. She was a photographer. She did all kinds of things really well, but she didn't do anything with it. She sat at her house all day and never went into public and had this I hate people attitude, so she would never go talk to people, and she wasn't approachable to people, and it would bother her when we would go to town and other people would come and talk to me and everybody knew my name, and here I'd lived there just a couple of weeks and she'd been living there for like a year and nobody knew her. But it was because she wasn't putting anything out there for people to be attracted to. And I'm not talking about attraction like, hey baby, I'm talking about just feeling comfortable enough to approach you. So that was the reflection I got from that was, wow, and I wasn't doing anything really at that time. I was in my travel trailer and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life because I was just coming out of a stint where I was homeless. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So, like I said, the reflection will always be there. It might not be what you think it is, but try taking it inside and try looking at it from different angles until you can see yourself in this other person. Because this reality, this existence that we have is really has a lot of coincidences and signs and ways to see things that can make it really easy for us to maneuver our life with other people. So that's my goal, is just to take all these hardcore experiences I've experienced in my life and make these videos not only to help you, but when my husband died, it made me realize that he didn't leave anything really for the boys, and I need to leave something. So even if this helps somebody else, that's great, but I want my boys to be able to look at this and write that down and be like, wow, my mom wasn't that bad. I'm not saying I'm going to die anytime soon, but you never know. You never do.